मलाई कोक्स बार बोलो श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। So friends and relatives and family of the deceased, Mr. Nandakishore Mahabir is about to leave this platform, this temporary platform as we all would like to put it. We are all here on a 2-day journey, and sometimes we don't know how short it is, we don't know how long it is. We just have to try and make the best of it and try to understand our purpose here. What is our real purpose? Why is so much importance given to the body on this occasion? If the soul is all that there is, and the soul has left the body, then why do we put chandan, why do we put flowers, why do we do arti, why do we do all of this? Some people will look at it and say, nonsense. Well then, should we put it and burn it with tires, and then let it come to naught? There is a special significance for this. One, the body has come out of nature, and to nature it must return. And in order to preserve that quality of purity, it is now in the form of a lump of clay, you may want to say. And in order to preserve that purity, we have to shanti it, or to purify it, through the offering of the chandan, essence, the arti, the flowers, all of these things. And for a second reason, that the soul residing in this body is what the family and friends would know and appreciate as the Father. This is very much like, and I don't want to devalue the essence of what I'm saying, but just to clarify the point. It's like you have a very nice car that has served you very well, and you being like the soul in that car, and the car being like the body which is here right now. Even when you have to part with that car after a number of years, you will tell the new buyer, this car has been very faithful to me, and I feel very sad to see it go. And if we can feel sad for something that is material, to see it go, how much more sadness and hurt we will feel inside of us for somebody who has lived with us, who has given so much value to our lives, who has given us so much encouragement and hope and all of that in our desperate times, in our solitary times, in our trying times. And yes, he has enjoyed some happy times as well with his family. So with that in mind, devotees, let us put our best feelings, those of us who may have bad experiences, if he has done anyone wrong, find it in your heart to give him that forgiveness so that his journey will be a free one. It will be a nice and free journey to the embrace of his Lord. So let us continue. We did part of the ceremony upstairs. It was a private ceremony. This being Panchak, we did the Panchak Shanti upstairs, and that part has been concluded. So we will now conduct the funeral ceremony from the beginning. O Madhyamukha Gotrasya Mukha Pretasya Mritisthane Shava Nimmitam Snanam Maya Diyate Tavo Patishtitam. Then we put chandan. Chandan. Using the index finger, right? Remember you give your rings. Well, use the index finger. No, not that one. Right. Om tilakam cha mahat punyam pavitram papanashanam apadaharati nityam lalate hari chandanam. Yeah. Jai Sitaram, Pandit. Om Gandham Grihana Devesha Deva Deva Dayanidhi Tvameva Jagatam Nathas Tvameva Jagatam Prabhu. And the malas. Om Malikadi Sugandhini Mala Ithyadini Vai Prabhu Maya Hritani Pujartham Pushpani Pratigrihyatam Adhyamukha Gotrasya Mukha Pretasya Mritisthane Shava Nimitam Pushpamala Maya Diyate Tavopatishtitam. And now we perform Arti. Walk around the body 5 times. Om Yam Dware Mahaghore Andhena Tama Savrite Tatra Lokanarthaya Deepo Yam Upatishtitam Om Madhyamukha Gotrasya Mukha Pretasya Mritisthane Shava Nimitam Deepam Maya Diyate Tavopatishtitam. So let us all join in a bhajan dedicated to Bhagavan Sri Krishna for the freedom of the Atma of the deceased. Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyon ke dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare, Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyon ke dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हूँ आशा का दूर किनारा हूँ. जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हूँ आशा का दूर किनारा हूँ. फिर तू ही न खेवन वाला हूँ, फिर तू ही न खेवन वाला हूँ. फिर तू ही बेड़ा पार करे. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे. श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों के दुख दूर करे. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे. तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे. तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे. पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा, पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा. जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, जय जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे. जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे. श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों के दुख दूर करे. जय 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 कृष्ण Namaskar. Bolo Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So devotees, at this time we will offer the first pinda. Kindly right hand. No, not you, not you. Let them help you now. Om Madhyamukha Gotrasya Mukha Pretasya Mriti Sthane Shava Nimitam Ekate Pindo Maya Diyate Tavo Patishtitam. Now this is a busy position, so if you have to be up to it. Now this is, we are in Panchak right now, and we are supposed to do the Panchak Shanti. And we did that in private, we did that already, we did that upstairs, so that at this point in time, we deliver a short sermon, and I have my good brother, Pandit Randhir Maharaj, who is also like a guru to me, seeking guidance from him from time to time through his books, through his discourses, very well known to the family, and I know he's very much involved in the Satya Sai movement, from which I have benefited a lot listening to him. While I waited for my children as they take their lessons in class, I would sit in my car, put on the radio, and he would either be doing discourses from the Gita or Bhagavad Gita or Sai. So I want to welcome him, and shortly I will hand over the mic to him to address you. So on this momentous occasion in the life of Nandakishore, Sri Nandakishore Mahabir, we all reflect on the good times, the bad times, the not so good times. As we all know, life is but a dream, some people say. Some people say life is unreal. Some people say life is real. Some people say it's true. It's all of these, devotees. It depends on where you look. If you look within, Bhagavad Gita tells us that if we look within, like the tortoise, when the tortoise is in trouble, you know what it does? It withdraws all the limbs, and it provides that hard shell on the outside. Knock as you may, you can't interfere with him. So too is man. These senses that we have, the eyes, the hands, the legs, and all of that, they are like the limbs of the tortoise. So that anytime you feel troubled in the outside world, you must understand that the outside here is only trouble. If you seek happiness in the world, you will never find it. Buy a car, and very shortly you start to get a problem with it. You want a new car. You get married, and the marriage, if you don't have true love for each other, what happens? It withers away. It goes to naught. So the real joy in life comes from within. When we withdraw the senses and we focus on that divine soul within us, then we will start to feel happiness. Then nothing outside bothers you. In chapter 2, around verse 69 or 70, there is a verse that says, Apuryamanam achala pratishtham. And it speaks about the ocean. Pratishtham means very still. That ocean, you could have how much water flowing into it. It never overflows. And it remains still. But the rivers, they come gushing with all kinds of mud and debris and everything. But once they reach that ocean, they become calm and peaceful. And so is that man too, who is centered in God. He becomes like that ocean. And the outside world becomes like the rivers, the numerous rivers. That when we open our eyes, when we reach out to touch something, when we hear something, it doesn't bring any disturbance to us. We remain one way. So a man of God, he doesn't pay too much attention when he is praised, and neither is he hurt when he is insulted, because he is centered in that pratishtham, that stillness within him, that is the Lord. There is the other verse that says, how do we reach to this stage? Vihaya kamam yaha sarvan pumam charati nisprihaha nirmamo nirahankara sashantim madhigacchati. Vihai means to abandon. Vihaya what? Kamam. What kamam? What desire? All desires. Yaha sarvan. All desires. Abandon it. Vihaya kamam yaha sarvan. Pumams charati nisprihaha. Pumams is mankind. And once you abandon your desires, you will quickly move to free spiritedness. Free spiritedness. And the next verse says, Nirmamo. No ownership. I don't own anything. When Mr. Nandakishore, Sri Nandakishore ji is going here now, the soul of Sri Nandakishore ji, is he carrying anything with him? If you look at his hands are empty except for the pinda we just put. And he's not carrying anything with him. Aye bhi akela, jaye bhi akela. He came alone and he will go alone. But yes, there is something he's carrying with him. His good and bad deeds. You carry your karma with you. So what you work for in this life through your karma, you reap it maybe in the next life. Those that you didn't reap now. Because karma itself has past karma, you have unfolding karma, and you have future karma. The only one we can do something about is the future karma. So we all have to start doing from now to reach there. So it says, Nirmamo, no ownership, don't own anything. Everything you do, say Bhagavan, all is yours. Whatever I have done is you have done through me. Nirmamo nirahankaraha, no pride, no ownership, no pride. I can't do anything. I'm merely an instrument. Sashantim adhigachati. And once we adopt this, we will quickly become peaceful, centered in that divine presence of Bhagavan within us. Ek bar bolo Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. And devotees, I have stayed away purposely from the personal life of Mr. Nandakishore Mahabir for the simple reason that I know the person who is doing the eulogy would have to cover all that, and I didn't want to repeat. So I'll leave that to his loving dear ones to do. And so I'll now hand over to my dear brother, my guru, my good friend, Pandit Randhir Maharaj, to address you. Panditji.
Thank you very much, Panditji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha. Over time, we have come to make the statement that we are not here to mourn the passing away of our brother, but rather to celebrate his life. Others may very cynically ask, what is there to celebrate? And they may reflect on the last year or two or three. But the last year or two or three in anyone's life, especially when you have crossed 75, is just 2% of your life. And why should your life be characterized by just 2% of the time? Our brother, well, official name Sri Nandakishore ji, Bait, Skinny, however many names he has. People have different relationships with him. He lived a hard life. He worked hard, but he played hard. And lying here, unable to say anything, yet he speaks volumes. He reminds us that ultimately this is the journey we shall all make. An occasion like this forces us to confront our own mortality. Much as we may like to ignore it and forget it, none of us is going to live forever. And this is why, very appropriately, Panditji has been urging us. Whatever time we have on this earth plane, we must use it well. As I mentioned last night, so many times we ask, why did he die? And the answer is simple. He died because he was born. And to echo another point he made, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba says, desire is the cause of birth, and time is the cause of death. These are the truths that we cannot avoid. But I see too many serious faces, too many sad faces, and if we're celebrating, we should not all be, in this sad, morose. Death is just another stage of life. Obviously, given the relationship that we have cultivated over a lifetime, there will be some sadness and there will be some sorrow. But while I also will not want to share details of his life that should be reserved for the family member delivering the eulogy, my association with him and the family spans over a quarter of a century, probably about 3 decades, when they were members and devotees of the Shagona Sindhu Temple. And our lives were permanently impacted by Swami, as we fondly say, Sri Satya Sai Baba. And Bet will attend satsang as often as he could. And even during challenging times, there were one or two occasions when he would come to the mandir, even in the wheelchair. How many of us don't need a wheelchair, have full use of our limbs, but yet will not make it to a place of worship? That's why we're going to sing very sadly, Maili Chadar, O Riki Kaisi. I cannot come in front of you, my Lord, because I did not use this body for the purpose for which you granted it to me. But there's one fond memory, and we all know. He liked to sing. He loved to sing. And many moons ago, we used to have Christmas morning satsang. And when we finished with the satsang in the mandir, in the hall, and we go into the back for refreshments, that's when Bet took over. And he would have made a matter of fact, he had excellent skills, and he would have made an excellent extempo calypsonian. I remember, and I'm sure the girls would do it, and Mati would. It was a song he used to sing, I want some peace and love, I want some peace and love, I want some peace and love for this Christmas. No violence, no ignorance, all he wanted was peace and love. And this is what he gave out, this is what he surrounded himself with. This is why I'm saying, these are the memories that we hold of him. These are the memories that will help us overcome these difficult times. His name is a very significant one, Nandakishore. Nandakishore, of course, reference to Bhagavan Krishna, who is a supreme divine example of that, the importance of that joy, that singing, that music, to lift our lives. And so this morning, I'm privileged to share a few thoughts, and I thank Pandit for this opportunity. Unfortunately, I need to take my leave. I have a Bhandara to be in here at San Fernando. I see my drop just said, I'm waiting outside your gate. So I thank you, and I thank you for being here with the family, for sharing with them, supporting them. And permit me to just invite you to offer a prayer as I leave, seeking the divine's blessings upon our departed brother. May his soul make that transition into the hereafter, where he may find the peace and blessings of that Bhagavan Krishna. We pray that the family will also be comforted during this challenging time. Om Anadi Nidhano Deva Shankha Chakra Gadadharaha Akshaya Pundari Kaksha Preta Moksha Prado Bhavaha Atasi Pushpa Sankasham Pita Vasasam Achyutam Ye namasyanti govindam na tesham vidyate bhayam Krishna Krishna Kripalu Tvam Agatinam Gatirbhava Sansararnam Agnanam Prasida Purushotamaha. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai. Ek baar bolo Sri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai.
Thank you very much, Panditji. And we are indeed very blessed to have him share his knowledge with us and his presence on this solemn occasion for this family. But before I call the speaker who is going to do the eulogy, I would like to say that I remember one particular thing about him. If it has to be repeated, well, so be it. But he had one of the most fancy car horns in the world. Anywhere you could be, you will hear that horn. And if it's a Sunday, you know the Bharat reach, or the wedding reach, you know, afterwards. It had a tune to it, and people used to put their own lyrics to it. I myself have my own lyrics, but I don't want to say it here, because I don't want to change your lyrics. So without further ado, friends, I would like to ask his daughter, Miss Hema Sigobin, to do the eulogy. Oh, cousin-in-law, sorry. Well, I see everybody, all you like daughter. To him, all you going to be daughter. So I know. Oh, okay, no problem. He's still a daughter.
True. Good day, everyone. And Sitaram. My name is Hema Sigobin, as Panditji just mentioned, and I am the cousin of Mawati, or Hemawati, as you all know, Uncle Bates' wife. And I was given the privilege to present this and deliver this eulogy, which I have never ever done before. It's very tough for the family to stand here and do something like this. So it's a bit tough for me too, but I'm going to do it for them because they mean a lot to me. First, I'd like to thank you all for being here today to celebrate the life of Nandakishore Mahabir, also known as Skinny, and which is the name I think everyone probably knows him by, and Uncle Bates. He was born on October 29, 1946, in this village of Petersfield, Chaguanas. At the tender age of 10, he had to discontinue attending Felicity Presbyterian School to help his father work to take care of his siblings. He worked with his mother and elder sister, known as Tanti Dude, in Caroni Estate. In the year 1961, Caroni purchased Woodford Lodge Estate, where he started to work as a breakfast boy. I didn't even know they had a breakfast boy in those days. And at the age of 15, he received his Caroni Limited badge, where he worked until the closure in 1975. He also worked as a taxi driver in his spare time. And as Panditji stated, he had the most musical horn and the fanciest car. So during the taxi years and time, everyone wanted to go in Skinny's car. They will wait for him. He was well known in his community for Sewa activities in many manders, but especially the Sai Center in Chaguanas, run by Pandit Rander. He was an executive member of the Kuva constituency, where he also composed and sang songs for both the general and local elections. One of his compositions highlighted the political achievements and victories of the Prime Minister, Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Most of us knows how much he was involved and took pride in his political activities, campaigning, and just having a ball of a time. Uncle Bates, also known as Skinny, that name surely preceded his look. He was very skinny, tall, very handsome, and had a very keen style of fashion, which most of us can remember. He enjoyed ex-tempo, calypso, and chutney, also Christmas songs. He always had an outburst of singing at family functions or at friends, any functions at their homes. He's always there and he'll just start singing. He composed a lot of songs, and it's just amazing how quickly he will just look at the surroundings where he is, and within 10 minutes he would compose something for himself, and you will be amazed to see how quickly that brain was functioning and getting the words together. In 1971, he got married to the prettiest girl in Petersfield, Hemawati. He couldn't get his eyes off of her. She is my cousin. I love her dearly. We are very close. They both grew up in the same village as neighbors. Out of this love equation, they had 6 children, which I always call them as the Brady Bunch. Most of you know the Brady Bunch. 3 boys, 3 girls. And he was very proud of his 3 grandchildren. He had a great sense of humor, and his interaction with his friends and family will always be remembered. He was blessed to have his entire family by his side during his 6 years of illness. They dedicated their lives, each and every one, to him with lots of love and loyalty. Today we say goodbye to a great person in the village. And in our hearts, we know he's in a better place and will always be a part of our lives. I just want to add a little something, because I came Saturday on vacation. And he passed that night. So sometimes we as Indians, we say, oh, they probably were waiting for you. I would tell you, whenever we are here on vacation, he always made it a pleasure once he had his health. He would take us anywhere we wanted to go. And I can tell you one thing, he made the best oyster sauce. So Uncle Bates, be in peace, and until we meet again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hema, for that wonderful contribution. And at this point in time, I will ask one of his beautiful daughters to do a rendition for you. I call on Miranda.
Jyoti Bindu Paramatma se hai meri atma ab chal kar le milan paramanand ka anubhav kar tu परमानंद का अनुभव कर तो धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन प्रभु की प्राप्ति का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण है आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे तू सारा जीवन ओ देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे कर ले अभिवादन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन ज्योति बिंदु के प्रेम सिंधु में चल आज नहाले परम पिता का प्रेम पत्र बनकर तू शुभ वर पाले ओ किरण किरण को निरख नयन से किरण किरण को निरख नयन से हो जा मन में मगन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन 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 अब चल कर ले मिलन. Sitaram, I'd just like to share a few words about my father. To all his children, he has been the best father, best daddy anyone could have ever asked for. To all his nieces and nephews as well, he considered all of them like his own children. And he worked very hard, even in the early days, working taxi when we were kids. Just like for Christmas, to buy toys for all my cousins as well. And we used to be like, oh my God, all these nice toys he given them, boy. But you know, his heart was so big, and we are so proud to have had him in this life as our father. He was a great soul. And rest in peace, Daddy, and I know you're very happy today, and you're going in peace. Sitaram.
Thank you very much, Miranda. You all heard her voice, a very pleasing voice, which we are so happy to have in our mandir very often. And for her to stand up here, sing so beautifully, and then say those lovely words, speaks volume about the strength that she has. And I'm sure all the other daughters have it as well. They have adopted very good qualities from the mother as well. For certain, the beauty, all of them, very beautiful and very dutiful as well. So I just want to urge everybody here that what the family here is experiencing is an experience, has been an experience, or will be an experience for all of us one day. One day we will all see our loved one lying in a box, ready to go, and it's not an easy thing to bear. Because then our minds make a guilt trip back and we say, did I really do my best to make him happy? Did we do our best? Could I have done anything better? And that regret always goes with you. So moving forward, it's a good thing to make a plan in your mind. From today, I am going to look for love everywhere. If I look for love, I will surely find love. If I look for hate, I will find hate. If I look for jealousy, I will certainly find that as well. So in this world of mixed feeling, mixed experiences, let us look for love amongst all of that. Let us look for a blissful experience. Rather than looking for the faults in people, let us look for the good and speak about that. That is why we urge people to come to the mandir often, where the scriptures are read. The scriptures are known as praman. And it tells you what are the right way to go about doing things, and what are the things you could do that will incur sin. And not knowing it doesn't absolve you from incurring sin. So it is in your interest to know what is right and what is wrong, and to continue doing that. And from what I see, around Mr. Nandakishore, Mahabir, is a lot of goodness. Very many people are not fortunate to have so many people come and sit and give off their time on an occasion like this. And I always like to reflect on that management tutor, Kenneth Blanchard, when he speaks about the 4 T's: time, talent, treasure, and touch. In everybody's life, we experience these 40s. We have time, but how do you spend it? Do you waste time when people call you and they say, "What are you doing, boy?" Is your response, "Well, killing time, boy." Could you really kill time? You don't even know how much time you have. Your time, use it wisely. Your talent, he had many talents. He was a singer, he was an entertainer, he was everybody's friend. Use your talent well to make friends, to build loving relationships. Treasure. Your treasure is your wealth. We heard Miranda speak about how he would use his hard-earned money to buy toys for them and so. And that was just one example. How much other things he would have done selflessly in the interest of his family to make the whole family happy and the society as well. He was an executive member of a political party, the executive. It shows the level to which he went to help and assist people. And touch. When we live these 3 T's, devotees, we are sure to touch the lives of people. And if you live in this world and you haven't touched the lives of people in a positive way, then woe be unto you. You have failed God because he has sent you here to find him, to find God. And if God is Satya, God is truth, God is love. We always say God is love and God is truth. And if you didn't find those qualities or you haven't experienced it, then you have wasted a very beautiful moment in your life. And to conclude what I'm saying, in Ramayana there is a chaupai that says, "Bare bhagya manush tan pava, sur durlabh sad granthan hi gava." Bare bhagya manush tan pava, sur durlabh sad granthan hi gava. Sadhan dham moksha kar dwara, sadhan dham moksha kar dwara, pahi na jehi parlok ahara. Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Bare Bhagya. You know, there's a program called Bhagya Lakshmi. Bhagya means fortunate. Bare Bhagya, how lucky we are to have this human body. And it puts us, even the devatas, Sura Durlabha Sadagrand Tanhigava. They are jealous of us for having this human experience here on earth. Sadhana Dham, it puts you at the doorway of attaining liberation. Moksha Karadwara, puts you on the doorway of attaining liberation. So don't waste your life, oh man. Chant the name of God with your mouth. Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram kahiye, jahi bidhi rakhe Ram, tahi bidhi rahiye. And the bhajan says, Mukha mein ho Ram Naam. You know, use your mouth to sing the name of God, to speak good things. Use your hands to do good things. Use your feet to take you to holy places and all of that. So use your body wisely because you are very fortunate to have this human body. You don't know what the next birth will bring you. If you don't do good deeds, don't expect to maintain this body or get better. Expect to get worse. So your life is in your hands. Bhagavan Shri Krishna has given you a choice. So if things goes wrong, don't go by the murti and quarrel with God. We see that in Indian movies, but don't do it. It is wrong. God doesn't do anything to you. Everybody does it to themselves. The old people tell you, when you do good for yourself. And when you do bad for yourself. You know why? Because the karma of those actions will follow you, good or bad. So, at this point in time, I ask you all to put your hands together, close eyes, and transmit through your mind blessings to the transfer, to the travel of this soul, that he may feel peace and happiness and comfort wherever he may go. Hari Om. Anadinidhano Deva Shankachakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundari Kaksha Preta Moksha Prado Bhava. Om Krishna Krishna Kripalo Tvam Gatinam Gatir Bhava Samsararnavaham Agnanam प्रसीद पुरुषोत्तम वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। एक बार बोलो श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। ओम तत्सत प्रेतात्मा शांति। Devotees, at this time I would like to invite the immediate family only to come up and perform arti, offer flowers, offer your love, and wish the soul of the deceased Nandakishore Mahabir all the love in the world. And as we have that, we have here with us the President, Vice President, and members of the executive of the Sri Krishna Mandir, to which Miranda is a very important part of. She's a very good backup singer, lead singer in her own right. So I will ask the members of the Sri Krishna Mandir to sing a few bhajans as we take our last view of the body before we begin our journey to the river.
Sitaram and good morning to Panditji, members of this family, and all who are gathered here today to say farewell to a great man, Nandakishore. Well, everybody said talk about the history of this individual, so I do really have nothing much to say. I will do a song, and the meaning of this song tells you one day this life will leave this body and will exist no more in this world. Every living being faces the challenge of death. So whatever service you can render to the Supreme Lord and Master, do it now, for you may not pass this way again. So glorify the name of the Lord and you will surely receive his blessings. Let's join as we sing Ek Din Hame Bhi Jana Hai. एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, जब चला जाता है सारा इसका कौन ठिकाना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। कोब मोज कर देख तमाशा, कोब मोज कर देख तमाशा, खेल न खायो खेल हो। कर ले ऐसे कर ले बंदे, करने ऐसे कर ले बंदे, फिर नहीं आना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा इसका कौन ठिकाना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। कौरे कौरे करके जोरी, कौरे कौरे करके जोरी, मालिक जाना है हो। संग न जाए कर ले बंदे, संग न जाए कर ले बंदे, फिर पछताना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा इसका कौन ठिकाना है। दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. So may his soul have eternal and may he have a blessed and safe journey back to Godhead. Sitaram.
बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे. बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे. ज्योति दुनिया ज्योति बंधन, ज्योति है यह माया. ज्योति दुनिया ज्योति बंधन, ज्योति है यह माया. झूठा सास का आना जाना, झूठी है यह माया. ओ यह साचो तेरो नाम रे, बनवारी रे जिनका सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे.
बनवारी रे जिनका सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे. रंग तेरे रंग में
गिरिधर छोड़ दिया जग सारा. रंग में तेरी रंग गिरिधर छोड़ दिया जग सारा. बन गई प्रेम की जोगन लेकर मन एक तारा. ओ मुझे प्यार तेरा ध्यान रे, बनवारी रे जिनका सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे.
ओ बनवारी रे जिनका सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे.
दर्शन तेरा जिस दिन पाऊं, हर चिंता मिट जाए. दर्शन तेरा जिस दिन पाऊं, हर चिंता मिट जाए. जीवन मेरा इन चरणों में आश की ज्योति जला दे. ओ मेरे हाथ पकड़ लो श्याम रे, बनवारी रे जिनका सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे. बनवारी रे जिनका सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे.
Hari Om. Let us join and sing the Ram Stuti, devotees. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhaj Man, Haran Bhav Bhay Darunam, Navkanjalochan Kanja Mukh Pad, Kanye Pad Kanjarunam. Shri Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram. Kandar paganit amit chabinav Nila niraj sundaram Patapita manahu tarita ruchi suchi Naumi janaka sutavaram Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Haran Bhav Vedarunam Navakanjalochana Kanja Mukhapad Kanye Pad Kanjarunam Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram. So devotees, I take it that we have already viewed the body and now we are going to make our way towards the gateway. Yeah. So anyone at all who is desirous of viewing the body, this is your last chance to come up and view the body. Don't all come at one time because we need to leave like just about now.